Hey there, it's Boots Owen here. This is a AEG Electrolux Lava Mat Silent System Plus 86850, or AEG if you're going to pronounce it correctly. I've got it set up for a cotton linen wash, 60 degrees, 1600 spin, and because I think it's full of crud, I've got a dishwasher tablet. There's a couple of clean rags that have been washed. One dishwasher tablet. Close the door. Press play. That snap was the door lock. That's the pump. We should get water coming in imminently, if it's going to work. I have tested it. It did a spin and the drum works fine. Water coming in. Can't see it, but it certainly sounds like it. And I think the drain pump works because I've heard it working in the spin. I've got the waste outlet set up to catch any water that comes out, so we should be able to inspect what sort of snots come out of it. You can just see that dishwasher tab down the bottom there, so hopefully we'll see it going around. It's a 2-hour wash. It appears to have a clock on it saying coming up to 16:06, so it looks like it'll finish at 4:05. That is, if the clock in the machine is correct, but it does seem to be about right. I don't know what time it is now, but it feels about right. That's kind of a neat feature. This machine had a firmware update, or a firmware sticker put on it on 2008, April the 7th. So that was 13 years ago. It's got a good bit of water in it now. It's difficult to see because it's not up on the door yet, but it's coming up near the bottom of the tub. In fact, let's zoom in there. There it is coming up. And when it starts to turn, keep an eye on the silver versus the rubber, because I think there might be a spider issue with this machine as well. It's taking on quite a bit of water. It all comes in cold, so that'll all have to heat up to 60. It's coming up on the door. That's a lot of water. There we go. And it's doing a bit of a... Oh, it's doing some kind of a recycling thing, actually. Look, that water's dripping down from the top. And you can already see flakes and bits here. That's pretty gross. So any of these flakes are just from the soap scum and scum from washing that's inside in the machine. And I'm hoping that dishwasher tablet and the rag will help to dislodge that. That water recirculation feature, I don't know if that's just a complete waste of time or what, but that's the way it is. I'm not going to do a feature length on this one. What I'm going to do is check in periodically. So at the moment we're at 1 hour 57, so it's 3 minutes in. I'll check back as it heats up. We'll see how we go and hopefully catch those first drain out cycles and see how it looks like afterwards. So stay tuned. So there's the first 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes done, and it's doing something. That pump, I think, is a complete waste of time. You see that little piddle of water coming down? Because in reality, the motor turning the water over should do much more for it. Maybe there's something to be said for the water in the sump coming out, I don't know. I saw the dishwasher tab flashing past there a couple of times. Right. Stay tuned, we'll come back later. It's 1:42, so about 18 minutes in. It says heating here. There's a progress bar along there. That pump is turning over the whole time inside, the recirculation pump. And I find that to be quite an objectionable noise. But it is what it is. I don't know if you can see this, but there's particles floating in there. It's pretty gross. It is getting warm. Put my hand on it already. It's maybe 30 degrees, 37 maybe by now. It's not hot yet. Be interesting to see how dirty it was. And the thing is, you never know if you've actually cleaned it all out with one dishwasher tab, but anything's better than nothing. We'll see. 30 minutes in, still doing that dripping water thing. Quite soapy, which is good. You can see those black bits floating in there if you look hard enough. It's getting hotter now. It's over 40, I'd say. So we're about 47 minutes in now. And it's okay to leave my hand there, but it's quite hot. What colour would you call that? It's certainly not clear. It's quite brown. I'm wondering if I would keep this machine as my Will It Wash machine for the garage and just smash that Hotpoint WMA32. I don't need two machines out here and I don't know what to do. This is quite a silent machine apart from that silly pump making noise. The other thing is that maybe it doesn't make as much noise when the top's on it because the top has sound insulation as well. I don't know. Might put it on and see. It's a little bit quieter, but that pump still rattles and hums. It's not rattling, it's just the pulsing noise that those pumps make. Yeah, it is what it is. So it's just coming up to an hour. It's hot. It's still doing that little jet of water. And it's still dirty. And hopefully soon it'll do a rinse. An hour of washing. At 60 degrees. I guess a lot of that time's just been getting up to heat. Another 10 minutes and it says heating still, so it's quite brown water, but it's still hot as far as I'm concerned, but it doesn't think so. Of course I wasn't here on time. A few minutes have passed. This is making a huge mess because of how I've arranged it. So let's put that there. And that's the colour of the water. It's murky. And look at this. Telltale. So there's some bits of snot, but look at that. That's a telltale sign, if ever I saw one. It's like panning for gold. That is the stuff that comes off the element. No, not the element, the spider. That is a sign the spider is on its way out. Gritty. Oh, I've made a mess there. Right, better take up that piece of carpet and tidy that up and get a bowl under it or a bucket. So yeah, it might make a lot of noise now. I've got the wheel anchored, but it might still jump because it is an unbalanced load, even though it's just one pillowcase. It says washing, even though it's stopped and rinsed. Actually, it hasn't rinsed yet. It's not onto rinsing yet. I better deal with this little leak over here. More bits coming out. You can see them floating around in that bowl. There they are going around. So it's at 37 minutes to run. It's It's in rinsing, that's the first rinse. But if it does have a dud spider, let's just see if it'll turn now. We'll watch that rim. If it's going to do it, if it's there, it is. Yeah, you can see it just going in and out ever so slightly, a millimetre or two. It's a sign of spider damage. I bunged in this piece of copper pipe just to get, because someone had cut that hose. I also spliced the wiring with that connector, but it leaks. So let's just decant some of this. Try and keep the snots in the bottom. So those are the bits that get stuck to the inside, bits of soap scum and stuff. And it looks like there's little bits of grit and gravel in there as well, and that's a sure sign the spider's on the way out, which is a shame. What are you gonna do? 35 minutes to run. Quite amazing really, it's down to 26 minutes, so it's done 1 hour and 34 or thereabouts. This is the water that's just come out of it. It is very, very clean, which is kind of cool. So that means the dishwasher tablet, the first pump out was dirty, the first rinse was dirty, but now it's quite clean. Quite amazing. I really think that's pretty cool. So it looks like a success on this AEG. You can see it rocking there because wheels have moved somewhat. I've been tinkering away out here. It does seem to have leaked a bit. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Oh, it's wobbling a bit. I'm not sure where that's come from because I had cleaned that. Yeah, it's an old machine and it's a dud machine as far as I'm concerned. If you've got any ways to help me out with the inevitable, I think this one's going to get a heavy load to see if it smashes the spider. Because it's got this 3-phase motor, the only way of dealing with it really is to put it onto a spin with the door set open. So I'm gonna have to do something to jam the door lock open, and then somehow, well actually I could just throw it in. If the door lock's open I could take the door off or something like that. Any ideas? Write them below. That's very clean water there really, compared to what was coming out in the last rinse. It's still dripping down there. You can see it, it's just this one here is kind of bubbling over and then running down, but that's okay. If I'm gonna smash it, it is what it is. Bit of a shame. It's a filthy machine. It's missing its parts. It's been dragged along the ground. The whole top of it here is completely bashed and cracked. I don't know if you can see that, like that's really rough. Yeah. And it's got a damaged spider that's wobbling. You can see it there. Going in and out ever so gently. It's a shame, but that's the way things go. Come back at the end, hey? Oh, it's wobbling. It's very quiet. It's such a shame to wreck it. Like it's already wrecked. Instead of just bring it to the recycling centre and, you know, throw it over the concrete wall and then it'll get smashed anyways, so this is as good as that as far as I can tell. Well no, it's even better, you know, because I'm never going to put a new spider in it and nobody else will. So if I bring it to the recycling centre and chuck it over the wall into the big pit of washing machines and other appliances, that's the end of it. It's never going to be used again. It'll get picked up with a loading shovel and put into a lorry and it'll be recycled, which basically means bringing it to the scrapyard. Whereas if I throw a brick in it, we, the channel, the subscribers, will get to see what happens. And for me that's worth way more. And ultimately, it'll still be recycled in the same way, because we'll still drop it off at the recycling centre, where it'll go as scrap metal. So I can't see any reason not to throw a brick in it. Yeah, tell me my logic's failed. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Like, really, if you're watching this video at this point, you must be a subscriber. You must be really invested in the video at least. So you ought to subscribe. Yeah, go on. Or unsubscribe, because I've been whinging on about it too long. Unsubscribe, press that button. Unsubscribe. It's on the final spin, 5 minutes to go. It's a bit noisy, a bit vibratey. The water's clear, but it has that little bit of sand in it from the spider. It's a shame, really. 5 more minutes. It is quite vibratey. Oh, look at this. Where's that coming from? See why they got rid of it. Minutes left. It's very loud. I don't know if you can see that, but the top beam there is flexing maybe 10 mil. sounds horrific. So those are the bits just from the last rinse only. Some little white sand. Or can I pick up some of it? It's kind of white and grey sand. You can crumble it in your fingers. It's not dishwasher tablet. Yeah, it's still got a minute to go for some reason. It could just click off, but it's holding on. It's holding on the door there. Doing a last little spin or little agitate, freshen up, whatever you want to call it. It still says spinning 60, 1600. It's a shame. It's a loud old click out of that door. Door lock makes a loud click. So look, this snot here dribbled down all the way around the side and down to the bottom, which is gross. My laundry, oh, clean, question mark. It's a frustration because the bearings, oh no, actually. I wonder, can you hear that if we get in close? So I'm touching this metal here. It's a few mil of play in that, you know. So there. Not so perfect after all, Mr. AEG. Bearings loose. Spider crumbling, leaky from somewhere. God knows where that's leaking from, because it doesn't seem to be from over here. So I really don't know. Oh, it could be something. No, I don't know. I was going to say it could be something to do with this recirculating water pump hose, but I don't think so. No ballast on top, just a ballast ring on the front. It looks like it might be screwed, but it's not. It's got a sealed tub. I shouldn't be putting my hands in. I haven't turned off the electricity. Yeah, it looks like it could be drilled out and screwed, but it isn't. It's a sealed tub, which of course is what it is. Some spare plugs here, which is interesting. Don't know what they're about. Right. 86850 AEG. What am I going to do? What am I going to throw into it? 7 kg. It's an awful shame, because if it was nice I might have cleaned it up a bit more and used it at home, but no, that's just dead. It's out on the street for a reason. Although, what I didn't say throughout the video is it bloody stinks. It doesn't smell bad, it just smells like a cellar or something. It stinks like a cellar, that kind of musty smell, dampy, musty smell. So it's not pleasant. A couple of washes might clean that out of it, but gross. If you're interested, I might do a 20 min 3 kg load. In fact, I might do that outdoors with a load of bricks in it or something and see what happens. Or a load of something heavy. Any ideas? Write them below. Thanks for watching. See you later.